Hello there, Claire Cantro here with Spread the Well, reporting from my home office, so you'll see my associates in and out of the video here. But I wanted to kind of table the stretch discussions, which I will circle back to kind of go into a little bit more detail and show some things. But I wanted to share this very specific treatment modality that across the board, this is probably the number one thing that I give to every single patient. It is not specific to a diagnosis, to a body part. It's not about muscle stretching. It's not about strengthening. It's not about core stabilization. It is purely designed for nervous system regulation. When we look at anything related to chronic pain, which is kind of my specialty, mental and emotional health, everything that is profound change in the realm of my own health and wellness begins with understanding your nervous system and what it means to have a safe and regulated nervous system, okay? Safe and regulated nervous system has connection, social engagement, is able to learn, is able to get curious, it just feels safe in the environment. Dysregulated nervous system is the opposite of that. We're reactive, we are tight, tense, we're protective, we're ready to fight or run. So this technique, I think across the board for any person that I'm coming into contact with, I would say with the exception of people who have really severe osteoporosis or spine, really significant spine diagnoses or active fractures that we know about, tabling those conditions, this is a great nervous system regulation tool. And it starts with a foam roller. I would say probably because I am someone who is giving self-care home programs with the goal of long-term wellness and maintenance, I like to refer lots of home tools and equipment. It's not really exercise equipment, but things that you can have on hand that help you do some of the releases that I recommend. The number one thing is a foam roller. Not the foam roller that's a half, not the foam roller that has ridiculous spikes. Those are fine, and we can talk about those in a different video. But specific to a lot of the nervous system regulation techniques that I use with a foam roller, the postural techniques that I use with a foam roller, the 3 foot long is key. This is 3 foot. It's also 6 inches in diameter. There are options of a half foam roller, so still 3 feet long, but cut in half. And this is actually kind of a beneficial one. One, it takes a little bit away from the height when I show you this technique, which can be super helpful. It also means that you're laying on a flat surface and not a surface that's rolling back and forth, which can be helpful to most people. There's also lots of different densities of foam roller out there. I am not someone who, that is going to be something that is specific to every person. But when we're looking at nervous system regulation exercises, or even if I'm just teaching you how to foam roll your legs or different body parts, I am not someone who thinks that you need to have a foam roller that feels like a brick wall, okay? Now, sorry about that. Now, that is to say, if you are someone who loves that more aggressive, firm feel, totally fine, okay? I support every patient's their own interpretation of what they feel and what they need, okay? So this technique it goes along with, like, if you're familiar with any of the yoga principles of heart opener, hip opener, which really go deeper into stimulation of the vagus nerve, which is activation of that calming, parasympathetic, rest and digest aspect of our nervous system. This is a technique that it's vulnerable. It is something that I think it's sacred. So I say that this is not something that one should pull out at the gym, although if you want to, that's all great. So the technique is simply laying, I'm going to pull myself back a little bit so you can see my arms too, laying across the foam roller lengthwise, okay? The key is, and why the 3 foot long is so important, is that my entire head, like my entire spine, head to tush, has to be supported with this foam roller. So my very long individuals, this may even be too short for you. And for those, I would say you can get kind of a pillow at the top end to support your head. But the key is that your entire body has to feel so safe and supported on this surface, okay? So I'll show you. You'll see that my buttock is on and I slide myself all the way to the end, okay? And then I'm gonna lay back. All right, Oakley, excuse me. Oakley, excuse me, thank you. So I did the, sit and lay back technique. Another technique that you can do is kind of keep the foam roller next to you and you can slide on top of it like that. Okay, the key is though, notice that both my buttock and my head are supported on this foam roller, okay? The other most important thing, because if you do not do this, this is the most counterproductive move you can do with this very specific nervous system regulating heart opener technique, is if you put your legs out straight and not bent like they are, number one, you're going to get real wobbly. So you're going to have to activate this, stability aspect of things, which is lovely. And we can talk about in a different time, but not the goal for here. The other thing is if my legs are out straight, and I can't show you right now, but what that does is it puts my lumbar spine in a more extended position. It tilts my pelvis forward, and that creates so much tension in the low back. Again, not the point. The point is for you to feel so good and so supported all throughout your spine on this foam roller, okay? So the other thing is, when it comes to where your arms go, there's no right or wrong thing. It is unique to every person. You find your sweet spot, okay? So my more flexible people, maybe they can get up here without feeling all this tension and pull. Mine is about right here. So I mean, just below shoulder height. The goal is that your arms feel like they're almost flush with the surface you're on, the mat, the carpet, the floor. And you don't feel any strain whatsoever. Now I'm saying that it's not that you're not going to feel maybe some fascial or connective tissue or even muscle pulling, but what I want you to find is the spot that has the least amount of that. Because again, in a different world, this foam roller technique is great for postural stuff. We can we can do a snow angel, we can do, butterfly, we can do all kinds of different things on the foam roller to help with posture. Thank you, Oakley. Thank you, Oakley. But in this case, that is not what the goal is. The goal is a safe and regulated nervous system. So feeling so safe and supported in this position, okay? You may even notice that if you're more mobile on one arm, that arm feels better a little bit higher than the other side. That does not matter. It does not have to be equal. What I want you to feel is when you close your eyes and you're laying here, you just feel like you're kind of floating and supported across the board, okay? So the technique is simply that you get here and you sit and breathe. Sometimes I put on a guided meditation. Sometimes I put on a breathing meditation. Sometimes I just do kind of a, positive affirmation mantra, whatever it is. Or you can just be like, I don't even care if you're running through your daily list, although I would say, that may impact how well you can connect with that nice calming vagus nerve response. But this is the technique, nothing more. We're not trying to force anything. We're not trying to balance. We're not trying to strengthen. We're not trying to stretch. We are just trying to achieve a place of calm. Everything in our world either physically pulls us into this forward flex posturing, whether we're sitting at our desk, sitting in traffic, but even our nervous system is wired to, in response to threats, to pull us into that fetal position. So this is such a beautiful counter to all of those things, all of the daily stuff that pulls us into that forward flex posturing, This is a great counter to that. Now, will we say that 10 minutes of this, takes away 12 hours of forward flex posturing? No, but the goal is that we start creating a set of tools and techniques that counter all of the threats, all of the things in our environment that are more reactive to us, they're more stimulating to us. How do we balance that out with some good, calming nervous system regulation? So this is it. Hope that helps. Hope you liked it. Start sharing these with your friends. All right, thanks.